Hi, I'm Anne, and I'm the CEO of Drifa, and I'm here with Anya today to talk about her art. So can you tell people what you do, Anya?
I am a potter. That means I throw on the wheel.
Okay.
Occasionally I'll do some slab stuff. Basically it means that I work with clay and make stuff out of clay. So I actually first saw a potter's wheel when I was doing summer school before junior high at one of the junior highs down in Chico. And my eyes lit up and I'm like, I want to do that when I get to junior high. Unfortunately, my junior high didn't have a ceramics program, so I had to wait until high school.
And where'd you go to high school?
Chico High.
Chico, so just right down the street. And was your teacher instrumental in encouraging you, or?
Not particularly. But what I found was a way to create the things that I saw in my head when I couldn't draw it out, but I could sculpt it.
So it gave you a median.
Exactly.
To get what was in your head
Yes.
into your hands.
Yes.
It's a very tactile art.
Oh, very.
And when did you decide that you could go from just playing with pottery and putting your art into your hands and deciding that you could sell it?
That took a lot longer. I actually didn't sell work until probably a decade and a half to 2 decades later.
Wow.
I had to give it up for a while, you know, based on life and et cetera. And when I was down in Turlock, a friend of mine came into a kiln and said, hey, do you want to use this? And
a kiln is what you use to fire the pottery.
That is what I used to fire the pottery.
Okay.
That gave me the chance to focus on my art in ways that I could never do that before, and actually be able to produce enough that people started saying, hey, I want one.
That's beautiful.
Can I get one?
Can I have that?
Oh,
Can I buy
want
that?
one of those? Yeah,
so really
exactly.
It was people coming to you and telling them that you were good enough and that they wanted to buy your things.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
And then I discovered the black clay and everybody went, ooh, because they'd never seen anything like that before. And I made a lot of black clay pieces for a while.
What is the most intimidating thing that you have done as an artist?
Reach out for other sources and say, do you want to sell my stuff?
And you have pottery in a store now?
I do. There's a little gift shop called Buffy's Gift Barn down in Paradis, and I have some of my work selling through them.
So let's talk about Paradis. You lived in Paradis.
Yes.
And what year did the fires happen?
The fires happened in 2018. We moved up there in December of 2017. So we had been in our house less than a year.
Okay.
When everything went up in smoke, literally. A lot of the buildings that are there now are either things that managed to survive the fire or brand new within the last 4 years.
But the trees, you can really see on the trees on the way through town, and even from Paradise to up here, you can see on the trees. How close did it get to here?
About a mile down the road.
And there hasn't been another one since that was close?
There have been a couple that we've had to evacuate because of. None were you have to evacuate, but there was one last summer, 2 summers ago, that I had planned on being down in Modesto for the weekend, and there was a fire going on. So we just decided that since I had to be down in Modesto anyway, we were all going with all the stuff and all the pets and the chickens and mom.
Yeah, just keep yourself safe.
Right.
And how did losing everything in Paradise affect your art?
Well, it certainly put it on hold for a while. I've found that being an artist, the muse will not shut up. Mm-hmm. It just finds different ways to produce things.
That makes sense.
So I did some pour paintings for a while, and I did some sculpey. Yeah, I mean, it's just you find other things to do when you can't do your primary art. The muse will not be satisfied otherwise. The hardest part was having the space to do it and having the things I needed start coming in to do it and not having an outlet for the kiln. So we actually snuck Fergus up here in like late 2020, masks on and everything, and had him put in the outlet that I needed to plug the kiln in.
Nice. I see you have a mini kiln as well.
I do. That is for
guy.
test stuff and for doing an after glaze firing, which is like a luster. That's what puts the gold on it. So generally, I don't have a whole lot of pieces that'll do that, so I'll use the little tiny kiln.
What is your favorite part of the process?
On some days, I'd say throwing them. On some days, I'd say doing the decorative parts afterwards. For me, I guess it's the entire process. It's because you go from throwing the piece to decorating the piece to firing the piece to glazing the piece. And honestly, my very, very favorite part is opening the kiln at the morning after doing a glaze fire.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like Christmas morning every single time.
Nice.
Because you never know if you're going to have the best present in the world or the ugly sweater.
Especially with glazes.
Yes.
Did they go on even? Did they? Because you don't know when you're doing it.
Did it drip?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually had a piece that I pulled out on yesterday that it was a glaze I haven't used a whole lot. And I did it on a mushroom, and it actually dripped off the rim of the mushroom and landed on the kiln shelf.
Oh, at least it landed on the shelf.
Right. But I had another small piece of somebody else's fall over onto one of mine pieces, a little clay shard I'm playing with. But yeah, now they get that and the shard. So,
because it's stuck to their piece.
It's stuck to their piece.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. How long does it take to do a piece?
That is a harder question. I can probably throw a piece in 5 to 15 minutes, but that doesn't include the time that it takes to put any decoration on it, the time it takes to dry the piece, the firing time, the glazing time, and the second firing.
Right.
And, you know, if I'm doing a luster firing, that's another bit. But the hidden cost in that is I'm not going to throw one piece.
Right.
You know, I'm going to throw a whole bunch of pieces so that I have enough to load up the kiln.
Yeah.
And if I have 3 pieces that are sitting there and I don't have enough to do a full load, those pieces are going to sit there until I do.
Right. And they can sit there indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
Until, yeah.
Exactly. I've got some black pieces that are sitting there that have been sitting there for a couple of months because I can't glaze fire them with my white pieces.
Oh, so they have to have their own.
They have to have their own. And I needed to build up enough black pieces to have, you know, a full kiln load.
So the entire process could take a week.
I'd say 2
weeks
2 weeks, because I've got to have enough pieces
to fill the
kiln.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So you figure, day 1, say it's a Monday, I throw all my pieces. I actually forgot a step in there. they have to get dry enough for me to trim my pieces. So that's another day. Figure 2 to 4 days for drying. Another day to fire the first time. 2 to 4 days, maybe longer, depending on the intricacy of the glaze job.
Yeah.
To glaze the pieces. And then you've got another day and a half to do the glaze firing, because it goes to a hotter temperature, so it takes longer. So at least 2 weeks.
But in that 2 weeks, you may get a dozen pieces, 2 dozen pieces?
I will get anywhere between 2 dozen to 50.
Okay.
Depending on what they are. If I'm doing a lot of plates, that's going to be less because they take up more kiln space.
Yep.
Because I just can't fit, you know, as many in there. It's 4 plates to a layer instead of 10 to 15 to 20 mugs.
What is the oddest thing you've ever been asked to make?
The oddest thing I have ever been asked to make was a toilet toad.
A toilet toad. And what does a toilet toad do?
So it is a vessel shaped like a frog that one puts bathroom tissue in the mouth of.
Okay.
So
I can see that.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't actually make it. She decided not to go with that.
She decided that was probably more than she wanted to spend on a toilet toad?
Probably. We didn't even get into pricing.
So speaking of price, do people often underestimate how much this entire operation costs?
Yes.
And how much a mug should cost?
Yeah. Because, you know, you can go out and buy a standard porcelain mug at like Walmart or Target for what, 10 bucks, 15 bucks?
Yeah.
But they're not handmade. You know, and honestly, I've been very lucky. I have not had anybody say that's too much. But, you know, what you're buying isn't the mug. It's all the time. It's the clay. It's the firing. It's the glaze. And those are not cheap anymore.
And it's the experience, your experience.
Exactly.
Of decades of doing this.
Yeah. 25 years off and on.
Do you believe that art has meaning?
Yes, and that's part of why it took so long for me to actually call myself an artist. Because a lot of the things I make don't. For me, it's, what do I like? What would I want to see? You know, there are some pieces, some designs that I do that do have meaning to me. Do they have meaning to somebody else? I have no idea. But I'm the one who's making it. I'm the one who's putting it out there, so I'm going to make what I like.
How does your art reflect you and your upbringing and your heritage, if it does?
I wouldn't say it reflects my heritage at all. Although, I mean, I guess there is some Celtic-y influence in there somewhere, but I mean, it's not something I really connect with through my art. What a lot of my art reflects is the world around me, where I live, the flowers that I see, the plants that I love, you know, the deer in my backyard. Somebody once said, write what you know. This is my version. This is, you know, sculpt what you know. Decorate with what you know. And I think that part of that actually makes it really relevant to this area, which is why I put a lot of the stuff down at Buffy's that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily put somewhere else because it makes more sense for this local area.
I know that you do some sculpting. more than just throwing. So tell me how the dragons came about.
Oh, the dragons. Okay. So back when I was in 5th grade,
Okay.
we were reading a little story in one of those, reader books. And there was a story about a dragon. And my teacher said, do something creative to reflect a story that we have read in this book. So I took the, classroom clay and I sculpted a dragon. And I'm like, oh my God, I sculpted a dragon. I didn't know I could do that. This is really cool.
That was your first time sculpting?
That was the very first time I had sculpted anything.
Nice.
Other than with Play-Doh when I was 3.
Why did you choose to sell on Drifa's Leap?
Because it will reach a larger audience. And I think that's important, especially with the economy the way it is. I like to be able to keep things fresh in my head and in my studio. And the best way to do that is to get stuff out of it.
For sure. I can see that.
So if I can reach more people with my art, I think that's worth it. I tend to believe that every piece has a person. I just have to find them. And they have to find it. So any good way of exposure that isn't going to hurt me is a good thing.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
It was so amazing to be with you here today. And your store on Drifa's Leap is?
Glazed and Confused.
Glazed and Confused. Catch it on Drifa's Leap. It'll be in the caption as well. Thank you.